the skills, be the boss. No more time to feel lost. Lead the way every day. Find success, it's here to stay. Rise and shine, it's your time. Skill up, raise the climb. Navigate, innovate. It's your fate, don't be late. Get the skills, be the boss. No more time to feel lost. Lead the way every day. Find success, it's here to stay.
If you're a new manager or hoping to be a new manager, join us in our exploration into what managers need to know. This program will set you up for success by building your knowledge and confidence in the skills you need to be effective. Hello, and thank you for joining us. We are looking at our second week of a series that looks at change management skills for managers. And last week, we looked at the 6 different characteristics of an effective change management process: clear communication, leadership, stakeholder engagement, cultural alignment, continuous monitoring and evaluation. I guess that's 5, isn't it? What we're going to be looking at today, if we move forward on this, is the fact that there are 8 steps involved in a comprehensive change management process. And we're going to focus on the first 2 steps, which are assess the needs and analyze probable reactions. Step 1 is to determine the need or desire for change. And step 2 is analyze probable reactions. And those are the 2 that we're going to look at this morning. Step 3 is prepare a tentative plan or plans. And step 4, make a final decision. Step 5, establish a timetable. Step 6, communicate the change. Step 7, implement the change. And step 8, monitor and evaluate the change. So let's first look at step 1, determine the need or desire for change. We need to assess the discrepancy between the way things are and the way things might be. Observe behavior, analyze the individual and the social system, because we want cultural alignment. And the best approach is to have those affected identify the need for the change themselves, because getting buy-in to change is not always very easy. Step 2 is analyze probable reactions, and there are 3 types of reactions possible. First, resentment and resistance. The second is acceptance and welcome, and the third is neutral. And there are 3 types of resistance to change. First of all, we have the logical, rational objections. It takes time to adjust. There's extra effort to relearn new policies and procedures. There's a possibility of less desirable conditions, the economic costs of change, and questioning the technical feasibility of change. You may have someone who has gone through a similar change in another organization and knows that it has some problems. There are the psychological, emotional attitudes, fear of the unknown, a low tolerance for change, a dislike of management or whoever else is implementing the change or initiating the change, lack of trust in others, and a need for security and a desire for status quo. And then there are sociological factors and group interests. There are political coalitions, opposing group values, a parochial narrow outlook, vested interests, and a desire to retain existing friendships. because if people are going to be moved from one place to another, if there's a reorganization or there's a layoff, there's a good potentiality that someone is going to be leaving. Now, there are reasons why people accept or welcome change. They see personal gain, either tangible or intangible. It provides a new challenge. They like and respect the source of change. They like the manner that the change is going to be taken. Reduces boredom. If they have input, that's a huge indicator that they are more likely to welcome the change. They may desire change, see that it improves the future, that it's the right time, that there are sufficient resources. There's trust in upper management or whoever is initiating the change. And they may have previously had a positive experience going through a change, knowing that there were adequate resources, that communication was timely and informative. But as we look at analyzing probable reactions, our step 2, managers need to understand that individuals typically go through a 5-step process. First of knowledge, then persuasion, decision, implementation, and confirmation. With knowledge, individuals become aware of the change and start understanding it. For persuasion, individuals recognize the potential value of making the change and learn about its benefits. Decision, it's decided whether the change will be adopted or rejected. This often requires collaboration and input from various stakeholders to ensure that everyone feels included in the decision-making process. Implementation. The change is put into practice with a project manager or dedicated change management board that oversees the change process and facilitates training workshops to ensure ease of use. This is so important. I'm a trainer, and so I focus in on this particularly. But when changes happen to policies and procedures, we need to be aware of who's affected by that, who needs to know how to handle it, and to make sure that they are given that training just before implementation, not a year before, because they're going to forget everything that they've learned. They have to learn it and put it into practice immediately. And then confirmation. The success and effectiveness of the change are confirmed, and stakeholders are convinced of its value to minimize behavior that could limit adoption. Now, all of this is very idealistic as far as I'm concerned, because change is uncomfortable. People get very unhappy about change, because you need to be aware that if they have been doing something a certain way for a while, then they're invested in that. And if someone comes along and says, we have to change it, well, it seems to invalidate everything that they did before. So we have to be aware of those things and keep them in mind. If you would like help in implementing change, schedule time to talk with me. I'll be happy to assist and give you some direction. And if training is useful, then we'll discuss that as well. Next week, we will look at the next 2 steps in the change management process: preparing plans and making a decision. And making a decision is not as simple as it sounds, and you probably are already aware of that. So thank you for sharing your time with me. Thank you so much for coming and participating in our discussion of what managers need to know. You can find the videos of this and previous sessions on my YouTube channel or under events on my LinkedIn profile. I'll look forward to seeing you again next week.
Get the skills, be the boss, no more time to feel lost. Lead the way, every day, find success, it's here to stay. Get the skills, be the boss, no more time to feel lost. Lead the way, every day, find success, it's here to stay. It's here to stay. Oh, it's here to stay. It's here to stay. Yeah. Get the skills, be the boss, no more time to feel lost.